Like you're like a long night out.
Well, in my younger years, what I would do is I would only be up late watching movies or something. Yeah.
I like to sleep, so I never had that issue.
Oh, no, I never had that issue either.
No,
And it was funny, whenever I would come home from college, Mom would say, Stephanie, eat some breakfast. And I would tell everybody, listen, I don't need any breakfast. Don't wake me up. And my mom would say, no, you're getting breakfast. You can lay down after you finish your breakfast. But I was never one of those people who would get up at 6 a.m. to watch cartoons in the morning. My younger brother would wake me up, but he woke me up, and that's when I discovered Transformers, the cartoon. That was one of the best cartoons. They don't have cartoons like that anymore. And then we would watch G.I. Joe. And at the end of G.I. Joe, they would always have a lesson for you. So, and they don't do on NBC, The More You Know.
No, I didn't. They don't do that.
What happened to that? They need to bring that back, and they need to bring the school specials back. After school specials.
Or what do they call it? House school.
Oh,
House
School Rock. Oh, I love School Rock. What is it called? Schoolhouse Rock. Yeah. I unpacked my adjectives. I loved I unpacked my adjectives. I love the adverbs. Of course, conjunction, junction. But lolly, get your adverbs here. And I still remember the full thing about punctuation.
The bill.
Oh.
Okay, I have a story. And it might be my best accomplishment in law school. I was the fundraising chair for the Public Interest Law Foundation.
Mhm,
And one of our fundraisers was like a law professor talent show.
mhm.
And I had a law professor, she made herself a giant bill costume. And she's saying that I'm just a bill for this.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome.
We had all kinds of cool stuff. I had another professor who was like professional karate. She did stuff. It was fun. I had an unexpected one was Professor Strickler, rest in peace. He was a big duck hunter,
Mhm.
and so he was going to do duck calls.
Oh.
And then unexpectedly he like rolls in this giant cooler, and he had like a dead duck for every call.
Oh my gosh, no.
It was great. Elaine.
So she does have the Louisiana connection.
Family there still.
Oh, wow. That is awesome. So guys, today we are at 12:30. We're going to have our Q&A, and we're going to have our book club meeting by Zoom for Don't Let Her Stay. And so our Zoom link is going to be 828-6417-3926. Oh, let me let you write it down, Deputy Laura. It's 828 6417 3926. All right, so usually we have jury trials that are continuing from the week, but because we finished our jury trial, it's a very light Friday. So Mr. Cox, I know we have your client for sentencing. And then we need Marissa Giovinco on Mr. Khan's case. And let me see, who do we have in jail? Donnie Alvarez Jr., Tamar McIntyre.
And counsel's present for Mr. McIntyre, Mr. Goldstein, and Mr. Hunter will also be present shortly, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll bring Mr. Cox. If you want your client brought out while you can speak to him, and I'll take these matters up first. That way there's no break in yours. Right, and then we have Michelle Hernandez. Mr. Rivera, are you all ready? All right, she'll be out briefly. All right, and then Arthur Brooks with Jody Sars. Arthur Brooks. So he was supposed to be here yesterday, so we shall see. So while we wait, anybody have any plans for the weekend? Oh my gosh, you can tell.
Oh, they can.
Yes.
We ordered a swim spa like in June. And it's like a half pool, half hot tub,
Mhm.
and it gets delivered tomorrow.
Oh, that is so awesome.
That's my big event this weekend.
Oh, and Mr. Cox, do you have to be in any other courtrooms this morning? Okay, all right. In your office? Okay.
He was supposed to be here yesterday. Did he come today?
Oh, and
And Judge, Brooks,
Mhm.
Jody Sawyer's still in trial in Comal County.
Mhm.
So she had told me that she had contacted him yesterday to be here, this meeting needed to be here. And she was calling to get an effort for him to be here again. But she
All
said
right,
that he
so-
hasn't been returning calls back.
so I'm gonna give him till 9:30.
Okay.
And then, because I know maybe there's an issue, maybe he's lost, we shall see. Oh, I know he's not lost, but I'm giving people an opportunity. It's Friday. So I'll give him till 9:30. Oh my gosh, who's playing the New Orleans music? Or should I say Nolans? Good morning. So have we solved the issue with Mr. Khan?
I mean, he met with his probation officer.
I mean, are you all conferring with regards to the termination?
I need to talk to him a little bit. Do we have a translator?
I didn't know y'all needed a translator. It takes about 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was told that y'all would have one.
Who told
Okay.
you
Let me
that?
see the,
My office.
Oh, did you come to, y'all need to come to me to
Okay.
do to get the request for it. It cannot be done by anybody else, because I have to send it to court admin. And court admin has to find someone, and it usually takes about 3 to 4 weeks.
Right. When we were told that y'all wanted.
just one
to
second,
say-
just a second. Norma, can you call over to the magistrate's court and see if they have a translator by phone? Because I know at the magistrate's court, sometimes they do it by phone. What is his language? What's your language?
It's
All right, I'm gonna need you to,
it's like Hakachin Burmese,
It's a like, it's
A
underneath for me.
a dialect of
all
Burmese.
right, if you'll come forward,
Yes.
no, him.
Him. Well, I'm gonna cover it. He does speak some English, but.
All right, so you say it's Burmese?
Yes, Burmese Hakachin.
All right, let me look that up so we can have it spelled.
Yeah.
Okay, the transfer.
Okay, Norma,
Yes, sir.
is HAKHACHIN.
You can put it down on the sticky.
Sure. Does anybody have a sticky? I mean, shouldn't there be something on the phone where you just speak into it?
There is for, magistrates, I know they use a translator, but I.
No,
don't
I
know.
mean,
Oh, like just a Google Translate?
yeah, there's an app.
Yeah.
You all you wanna check your phone and see, can you do an app and maybe you all can converse?
Sure.
Okay, can you spell that?
It's HAKHACHIN.
Can he have a seat, Judge?
She said-
Oh, sure.
she said no.
Yes, the magistrate office. I want to say they have a number that they dial.
Trying to find the number. Judge. Here.
Thank you, Norma.
Because I only have to-
Oh, let me call someone I know. Yes.
Okay, maybe this works.
Can you see if that works?
Something, We'll see if it works.
Hi, Edith, do you by chance have the number for a translator? Yes. Because this person speaks Burmese. Do you think maybe Celeste would have the number? Okay. Okay. Mhm. Mhm. Oh, okay. Mhm. Okay. All right, thank you so much. Bye-bye. All right, Norma, I'm gonna give you the number and we'll have it for our records. Let me write it down. Oh, yes. Am I shocked? No.
We're calling it right now. But that's what she got me.
And then it's not-
You need to fill out that. You need to get this back on, like, is that what you said?
So you can-
Oh, I don't have anything. Where's the deal? You started working with them?
Yes, if you call that number and I put the password code on there and then you press 2 for other language and then,
Here on this house.
yes.
Okay, she wants to-
But I know if you Google, because I've Googled translator before and you just speak it and
Okay. I'm not worried about the karma. I'm not, but that's my opinion. No, I know. I know. Like, get out here.
Yeah.
They always have a watch. I know. Yeah, where does she sound? That your daughter lives here too?
all right, thank you. Yeah, just put them on speaker.
Yeah, we're because it looks like they denied the transfer, or at least initially, and they want more time to look at it. Gary? Yeah.
Oh, guys.
I know stadium.
Oh, okay, you're down hole, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then.
All right, if anyone is ready, you need to get ready now because we're going to start up our bench trial no later than 10:30.
Judge, we have the translator on the phone.
Oh,
So he wants to speak to.
yes, come forward. We have a translator.
Well,
Norma, the 187, where we solve problems that are not our own.
I should have probably called them because, yeah, now I can't talk to them privately.
Sweet.
Ma'am, are you still there?
Yeah, no.
Oh, I didn't get notes.
All right, I'm gonna need everyone to whisper.
I mean, I don't really want to talk to my client in open court in front of everybody.
I mean, well, this is where we're gonna have to do it. So state,
Yes,
I mean,
he's asking to have his case early termed. Are you objecting to that?
Your Honor, my only concern is that he just not have contact with the victim anymore.
So what-
I
what-
don't
what do
know
you-
how the best way to
and I
accomplish that.
need to converse with him about an option, but I just have not had the opportunity and I just would like to do that.
Because that's really the only condition left on his probation.
So
that
here,
we have an
here's the
opinion
court's
about.
question. What are you asking for in order for you to agree to his early termination? Because my understanding is he is not in the state. Could you have, is she able to hear me?
Ma'am, are you able to hear the judge? No.
All right,
me
let
one
me step
second.
down.
And it's my understanding there is a no contact order in the CPS.
Just 1 second.
Is there?
Hello?
For how long?
คุมที่
April this year?
อาตุกุม
Okay, so you cannot have contact with her until April of 2025, is what you're saying?
oh
Okay.
I just need to find this. Do we need the translator anymore?
The only thing I guess is, okay, if you could just translate this is that if we cannot find an active protective order, is he willing to sign one?
Taco
Okay, because if you could tell him that that is what the prosecutor wants in order to terminate his probation early.
Taco
Okay, so he's in agreement on that?
Taco
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. How do you say thank you in your language?
Hello
Hello?
Hello
Hello.
Yeah.
in the Burmese the chase you can buy
Oh, no. How do you say hurry up? Yeah.
It's hard for us. Okay, so what Motto said, Brittany? Yeah, that's what Motto said. He said they don't usually do a protective order in CPS. He said it would have been referred to the FJC. So then you would be able to pull it up. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
So everybody's on the same page, correct?
Correct. We just may need to do one if it's not done, is my concern.
All right.
I'm sorry, I'm not on the same.
Oh,
We are gonna, if.
It's not showing up.
if you come.
Confirming there is a protective order or
If
we're
you got
gonna
a
find
protective
one
order,
and it's an early bird.
All right. Thank you.
I think we need to probably do one,
Yeah,
because I don't see it.
okay.
I don't know, I mean.
Norma, who is this person in the waiting room?
So like,
I'm pretty certain on you. I know he does, I know, I agree, but without seeing it, like,
It's TCL 9137W.
do you know where you find something saying 2 years?
When you have a minute, I have someone to introduce you to.
Oh, sure, come forward. All right, we shall see. Hi.
This is Dominique Sandoval. She's been working for us as a paralegal for about a year, but she got her bar results this week. So she's swearing in next week and she's going to be our associate.
All right, congratulations. Welcome to the bar.
Thank you.
It's an exciting career. And the good thing about it is you never know what the day is going to bring. And you can do so much with a law license. So if you can see if you like criminal law, if you don't, you can go do civil, you can do family, you can do contract work. So it's great.
Yeah, we're real excited.
Yes, but stop by anytime.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Norma, we conferred on mine. It's the first setting. They've got to talk to some people. I don't know what's going on that case. I don't have a notice that I was appointed, although the system says I was, and I didn't receive. any
Daniel,
notices.
Do you know if
And I-
Jason's coming down for,
He should be coming down. He said he was running.
okay,
He should be here by about
So
Okay.
I'm setting up the jail visit next week by Zoom. I meet with my regularly. So.
and Norma, can I, oh, I'm sorry, Caroline, can I have the file on Ruckus, please?
So-
Judge. Examiner is here.
If you all can, Mr. Cox is in his office. If you could let him know, we're gonna do the fingerprints.
Thank you.
Mr. Wilson, they're gonna do fingerprints, but I'm gonna have your attorney come in so he can see what's going on. Could I have a prosecutor, please? And then I will take up your matter.
Okay.
And could somebody make an announcement for Arthur Edward Brooks? Court is calling 2020 CR 2098 State of Texas versus Arthur Edwards Brooks. Can I have parties for the state announced?
Brittany Mitchell for the state.
All right, this hearing was scheduled yesterday at 9 a.m. Mr. Brooks did not appear. His attorney did not appear because his attorney is in trial. So the court had this case recalled for today. Thank you. And it was scheduled again at 9 a.m. It is now 9:37 a.m. The defendant has not made an appearance in the courtroom. Deputy Laura,
Yes, Your Honor.
is Mr. Brooks, did you make an announcement?
Yes, Your Honor, I did, and there's no answer.
All right, state,
Your Honor, we would ask for a bond forfeiture.
that will be granted. He will be remanded without bond. If he makes an appearance, the court will reconsider. Thank you. And then on Danny Alvarez, Danny. Danny, if you'll come forward, please. All right, I know this is your first setting, but where are you all on discovery?
Well, Judge, I was just explaining to your coordinator, Norma, that for some reason, and I've searched through my trash, my junk, and my inbox, I don't have the email that appointed me. I hadn't met with Donnie. I didn't know until Norma texted me yesterday because I wasn't getting the notices. So I don't know if there's a glitch. I've now requested the e-discovery, and they've also graciously offered to let me download it onto a hard drive. I'm going to bring them on Monday to try and expedite things. So I'm meeting with him next week via Zoom to comply with my duty to meet with him immediately. But I apologize. I didn't have him on my radar.
Okay.
So I don't know if the state's complied. I don't want to jump up and down about them when I haven't been able to look at it.
And Judge, we have been reaching out to the complainants in this case, so that's a
Okay.
process that we're still on.
All right, so what I'm going to do, Mr. Alvarez, I'm going to give your attorney a 30-day reset. If she wants to come back sooner than that, she can. So it will be for discovery on that date to make sure everybody has the discovery.
Perfect.
Ms. Ferguson, what date?
November 6th.
All right, and if there's, I don't know if there's a glitch in the system or not, but if you discover there is, let the court know and I'll call tech.
Yeah.
All right. Do you need anything else from the court?
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Right, Tony, I'll see you next week, okay?
How you liking the liquid death?
Lauren said she got it maybe because they're switching over.
Yeah,
that
sorry.
The first person.
They
got it.
could be.
One that grabbed, just like create a bad.
I don't know if that new system is going to work. Obviously, it's not been working so far.
Bring you to drive today.
It's plugged into my thing.
And Bashan,
Yes, Your Honor.
on Mr. Kong, he actually, as you know, is in California. So they're trying to make sure that he doesn't have contact with the complainant.
Okay,
And he hasn't officially moved there or anything.
yeah, I'm gonna agree to early.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you. Where is Floyd Rivera on Michelle Hernandez?
I'm here that Christian, compared with the CLO, I'm gonna do a UA this morning,
All right,
and we will get back with you on that.
all right, thank you. And Bashan, is Samantha Alvarez, that's at 11? All right, let me know when you're ready on that. Could I see the file on Samantha Alvarez?
Right.
Have a meet, photography doing a mediation. And I've never done one. Mediation and at one.
All right,
So-
Samantha Alvarez, and everyone, if you could make sure you whisper, please. All right, how are you doing?
Better.
Better?
I've been better.
All right, so I received a report where they're requesting early termination for you, potentially, or either to extend your case. So, you know what I always ask everybody, because you're here for a drug case. If you give a UA today, what are the results going to be?
I will be honest, I will still come out positive.
All right,
Last UA submitted, Your Honor, if I may, I apologize, for interrupting. It was on the 28th. And it was positive for marijuana.
all right, so this is where we are. You are not allowed to use marijuana while you're on probation. It's just, you can't do it. So you have a choice to make. What you're on probation for is a state jail felony. And let me see here, you're on deferred adjudication. So if you were revoked, you're looking at 2 years at the state jail facility, potentially. So the question for you is, do I want to potentially go to the state jail facility for 2 years over marijuana? Is marijuana that important to me?
No, it's not.
You're acting like it is. And so what I can tell you is, I received this supplemental report, and you know what 3 choices they gave me? They said, do you want to extend this case for 6 months? Or do you want to terminate this case, which means you're done with probation? If you would have came into this court negative, I probably would have agreed that you could be off probation, but you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You've taken the classes, but you're not internalizing anything. It appears that your go-to is, let me use marijuana. I had a good day. Let me use marijuana. I had a bad day. Let me use marijuana. I had friends in college, and you know what they would tell me? They would say, oh my gosh, the air is so crisp and cool. This reminds me of great days. I'm like, what great days? They're like sitting on the balcony at the apartment smoking marijuana. I never smoked marijuana, but they tell me that there are some good memories sometimes that people have associated with that. You are making bad memories by using marijuana. And you will continue to be extended, or maybe a motion to revoke is going to be filed on you for using marijuana. When you're on probation, you're not allowed to use marijuana. You're not allowed to drink alcohol. Those are the rules. Those are the rules of Texas. You go in any courtroom in Texas, and guess what? You can't use marijuana. You can't drink alcohol. Do you have children? How many?
2,
What are their ages?
11 and 12.
They know their mom uses marijuana. Because I guarantee you, your clothes smell like marijuana. If you've ever hugged your child, they're smelling marijuana. They don't want to deal with that. They don't want to have the mother who's smoking marijuana. And if you have a boyfriend in your life who thinks it's great for you to be smoking marijuana and you're smoking marijuana with him, you need to cut him loose. You know why? He doesn't care for you. Because if he cared for you, he would tell you, baby, you can't be smoking marijuana because you could potentially go to the state jail facility for 2 years. And Bashan will tell you, I've sent women to prison, women to the state jail facility, men to prison, men to the state jail facility. Because we can only do so much. And after that, we'll move on to the next case. Do you understand? So guess what's going to happen today?
Getting extended.
Yes, you are. And you know what comes with that? More reporting, more fees, all of that's going to pile up on you. And you know whose fault it is that you're getting extended?
Fine.
Yes.
Mhm.
So the next time you think about smoking marijuana, you need to ask yourself, do I want my probation extended? Do I want to go to the state jail facility for up to 2 years? If your answer is yes, then you go ahead and you smoke your marijuana. And guess what's going to end up happening? Your children will not be with you potentially for 2 years. And in that 2 years time, anything can happen because I don't care what anybody says. Good mothers, nobody loves a child like their mother if it's a good mother. If it's a bad mother, then you can't say that. Do you understand? Be a good mother to your children. All right, we're going to extend her and I'm going to want her tested for levels. And if those levels do not start to drop, file a motion to revoke. And I will hear your case. Maybe you'll be brought over dressed in blue. Maybe you'll bond out, but I will hear your case if those levels go up. Do you understand?
Mhm.
So how often are you using marijuana? Is it every day?
No,
When?
when I do have bad days,
All right. And why are you having bad days?
who doesn't?
Is it like
Life.
life?
Yes, it's hard being a mother, a daughter, a sister, a girlfriend, a cosmetologist, a felon. It's a lot. I make sure everybody's good. Nobody makes sure I'm good. I try
Oh.
to talk to my PO. My PO tells me she doesn't get paid enough to hear it. Like,
Oh, no. Let's not start with that because let me just tell you something in this court. I do not allow people to speak badly of other people when they're not here.
Okay.
And I know that I've told you what I tell everybody else who comes in this courtroom. If you have an issue with probation and they're not addressing it, you can always come in because we're always here, Monday through Friday. And you can always come in and address it with Miss Abrams or come in and address it with me. And if you feel like Miss Abrams is not hearing you, I will hear you. But I can tell you right now, she always hears people. So don't come in here saying probation is saying, I don't get paid enough for this. And honestly, they don't get paid enough. But probation officers from the 187th, they don't say that because they know that my key thing in court is everybody needs to be kind to each other. Even if you fake it, you better fake it with an Oscar-winning performance that you care and that you're kind, because everybody has bad days. So what are your issues? Why are you using? You say you have bad days, your boyfriend not listening to you. Well, if your boyfriend is not listening to you and he's a part of the problem, then you need to ask yourself, do I need this boyfriend in my life? Because if they're not bringing anything positive to the equation, you know what that means? They don't love you. You're just a stop along the way. I know you're probably not listening to me,
no, I am.
but that means that there are certain people that you need to cut out of your life. And sometimes the worst people in your life is family. And sometimes you got to cut family out of your life. People always say, you don't choose your family, you choose your friends. Well, you're choosing bad people. So, and then if there are family members who are not any good to you, once you evaluate it without the cloud of marijuana, then maybe they need to be cut loose. There's no harm in cutting family loose. You send them a card at birthdays, Christmas, and Thanksgiving, and the holidays, and call it a day. So what else is going on? Is there some mental issue that we need to discuss? All right, you can't use marijuana. What are you suggesting?
Your Honor, we have listed the relapse prevention stay and quit program,
Okay.
and I think that would suffice.
All right, we're going to extend 6 months, amend conditions to the relapse prevention program, stay and quit program.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to want her tested for levels.
Yes, Your Honor.
And is there anybody she can talk to when she has issues? Me, if something comes up in my life, I can always pick up the phone and call my mom and say, this is what's going on. I have the support system. Do you have anybody that supports you and looks after you? Is that a no?
No.
All right. So is there any?
I'll talk to her.
All right. So she's going to find out if there's some support group you can get involved with. There are always support groups out there, even if it's you in a book club or something. There's always people you can talk to, because book club stuff sometimes spills over into life. And you probably need to get involved in a group. It could be a travel group. It could be a book club group. And at some point in time, you're going to meet somebody and they're going to be your friend. And that friendship will go outside the book club, and it may be somebody you can talk to with different issues. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So do not come back here testing positive for marijuana. I'm going to say this again. If you have an issue and you feel like your probation officer is not addressing it, you can always come to court,
Okay.
except for Saturday and Sundays, because we're not here. All right. All right. Anyone ready? All right. Thomas Blinko. Could I see the file on Thomas Blinko? And Ms. Ferguson, can you get Attorney Roger Perez here? And then we need Zachary Dike or Dike. And we'll find out from Bashan what is the update on his bed. Zachary Dike. Oh, competency. Ah, okay. We'll need to contact Judge Carruthers and see.
He's looking for the state hospital.
Okay. All right, yes, we're just waiting for Mr. Garhan. What is the ETA of Mr. Garhan?
He said he was walking in.
All right, he's walking in and then we'll take up your matter.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm waiting for the real lawyers.
Hey.
John Gilmore and John Hunter, they're next door in court, but they'll be right there.
Okay, see, you all thought he was talking about you and he's talking about co-counsel.
I assume the best.
I should have, Your Honor.
She said he'll be here in about 30 minutes.
Cool. All right,
He's in another court.
okay. And then after that, we're going to take up Mr. Wilson after Mr. McIntyre. Yes. Oh. Oh, yeah, sure.
John, not today.
Ms. Alvarez, days get better. You just have to take it one day at a time. All right, they are having a hot dog bash fundraiser for the United Way. They have hot dogs, Frito pie, and drinks. All right, I know I live in San Antonio, but you know I've never had, and I can't do it because I'm dieting, a Frito pie. What
kind
is,
of it's Sonic.
what is a Frito pie?
It used to be a nickel bag of Fritos that was sliced and they took wolf bread, really dumped it in it. You always have plastic.
And does it taste good?
And I was never a big fan, but actually. Popular back
Oh.
before you were born.
Good. I think we're ready. Fingerprint's been done.
Okay. All right, before your fingerprint person is here.
Yes, Judge.
All right, can you have Mr. Cox come then?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this your only witness?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So also,
Mhm.
that fingerprint lady yesterday, she was brand new. She wasn't on our.
You know, I thought she did very well.
She did. She did well. It was her first time.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was comical how we didn't even object or.
Yeah. Mr. Cox, is Miss Garza going to be joining you or no?
I don't believe so.
All right. Did you want to call her to see? If not, we'll proceed without her. But if you want her here, we'll wait for her. All right, thank you. Hi, Mr. DeLeon.
Jury
Yeah,
now.
right now, okay.
Mr. Dillon, I thought you had to prepare for your CSA. on
And I am.
Uh,
I'm done with 399. I'm going.
back to the office and I'm working all day long.
Right.
I
Well,
promise.
if you,
Oh, we put that a trial.
if you have them pull the file, because Norman let me know that you're gonna be in trial.
What are we talking about?
Oh, she said you're gonna be in trial, so there's a case that you sent an email.
That's probably for next week.
Okay.
You,
Did you want that case moved since you're in trial?
once I mean, we're just, my office is being very, proactive,
Okay.
but, I don't know if you want to do it now or later. next week.
Whenever, we can do it next week, but if you see that you're in trial next week,
You never know.
you never know.
Anything could happen. So let's just leave it until next week.
All right. Hey, let me speak to you for a
Sure.
moment. Oh, sorry. All right, Tamar McIntyre. Oh, come down. All right, so we're here today on discovery. So where are we on that?
Yes, Your Honor, I spoke to Mr. Goldstein about it.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
We have like another box and it's something that I think we're gonna have to meet up and actually look over. Because I have I think 6 or 7 boxes right now.
There are literally thousands of letters that I think I have an obligation, due diligence to read. I'm about halfway through what we've got now. I think they have another box that they're gonna give us.
So we're asking for another discovery compliance.
All right.
Setting, Your Honor.
All right, I will give you all another discovery compliance. I know this is an old case, but this case did not originate in the 187 District Court. So when this case was on the docket in 2019, it was not here. So this case only came here in 2023, and that's May of 2023. So I don't know what the other court was doing, but I'm trying to make sure, Mr. McIntyre, that your attorney has all the discovery and both your attorney and the state have had a chance to review that, because whoever the prosecutors were on your case in the other court, this is a different prosecutor. So they have the boxes to go through. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So how much time are you all asking for?
I think
Ask for the moon and maybe you'll catch some stars. Is that the way it
February, yeah.
goes?
By the way, I think the important places to look for important answers are the Bible and country and Western music. I'm better
Oh.
at country and Western music. How
Oh,
about
I love
February?
all music.
Me too, actually.
Country and Western music, though, sometimes it's so sad. There's a song where the guy is singing, and I love the song, but it's so sad. Where he's driving, he says, "That's my house, that's my dog, that's my
car."
wife, but that's not my truck."
I think you're talking about, I think you're talking about Ray Fuchs.
Yeah.
He does sound like
That's
a
true.
country Western.
So with regards to discovery, I will give you all 60 days. I normally don't do that. Is that enough time for everyone?
I will hope so, Your Honor.
We hope so.
That's. Speaking of country, no. I think that should be enough, Your Honor. But I'll be honest, this is a case I'm hoping we can work out.
All right.
There are a lot of moving parts that are beyond anyone's control in this courtroom that need to be resolved, but I do think we can work something out.
All
So
right.
that's fine.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, if I can have a 60-day reset for discovery.
I think it's December 7th.
That puts us at December 7th.
It'll be February, but December 7th will be fine.
Well, you know what? We'll see where we are in December.
Thank you.
Okay. Because I've discovered attorneys, and I include myself in that, we tend to procrastinate because you always have something, I say, on the stove that's on the front burner. Then when you have something else, you say, I'm going to put that in the freezer because I have this that's boiling on the stove. So, Mr. McIntyre, we're going to come back on December 7th to see where we are on discovery.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have any questions about anything?
No, ma'am.
All right. Anything else that the court needs to cover?
Can I bore not on behalf of the defense, may I bore the court with country and Western?
Most definitely.
My son got in a fight in junior high school. And the sheriff called me and asked me to come out and meet with them. And my son was upset about a girlfriend.
Mhm.
And that story about the Bible and country and was something that the sheriff said, why don't you go home and talk to your son?
Mhm.
And my wife, of course, you give him some advice.
Mhm.
And he's 34 now.
Mhm.
And I said, there are only 2 places to look. And so I took him up to my room and I put on I think it's Garth Brooks song about he went to a high school football game and he saw his old girlfriend. Well, he was with his wife and he saw his old girlfriend and he remembered dropping to his knees and praying to God that he could spend the rest of his life with his old girlfriend. And it was a live performance, and the audience went into the refrain, "Thank God for unanswered prayers."
Oh, yeah, I love that
And
song.
me too. And I told my son, I said, "Look at your mama."
Mhm.
I ended up with a significant upgrade. If you just hang in there, life is gonna do you all
Oh,
right.
it's
Yeah,
good.
absolutely.
Yes, most definitely.
Thank you.
All right, and I'm glad you said junior high. Now people are talking about middle school. That's how old I am. It was junior high.
Well, I went to Twain, so we were in between. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
Do you need to speak with him anymore?
No, we're gonna, John Hunter and I are gonna go visit with him. We've already talked about that here.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. Yes.
On the sentencing, we were just notified another court needs fingerprint examiner, so can we call him?
Yes, we can go right now.
Right.
All right, Mr. Wilson, if you'll take a seat next to your attorney. You're welcome.
Maybe when we get started.
The shackles good.
Oh, it's just me. I don't pay attention to shackles. The thing is, Mr. Cox, the reason why those shackles are there is because of what happened previously. What I can tell you is I don't pay attention to the shackles. My sentence is not going to be based upon the shackles. And just so you know, Mr. Wilson, I understand when people are found guilty, everybody has different reactions and emotions run high. The deputies did tell me that you apologized to them and apologized to the court. I appreciate that. I'm not going to hold that against you. But the reason why the shackles are there is because of what happened last time. And I'm not in charge of security. So if the deputies say the shackles have to remain, that's the deputies. I don't try to, I always tell my staff and everybody, stay in your lane. So I'm not a probation officer, so I'm not going to try to do LaShawn's job, although she'll tell me sometimes I try. I'm not going to do the coordinator's job because I don't coordinate. I'm not going to do the clerk's job or the deputy's job. And I think the deputies will tell you, Deputy Laura, I have never tried to do your job, have I? So I never try to do their job. All right.
I appreciate you, like.
You're welcome.
I have
No.
roots, I have plastic.
All right, Toby. Okay. Court is going to call. Oh, do you need your client sitting next to you or Deputy Laura?
Oh, I can move back.
Okay, whichever is easy if you want to move. Court is calling 2019 CR 404. I'm sorry, 4004B, State of Texas versus Santuan Wilson. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Danny Escobar from the state.
Defense.
Familiar Scott's for the defendant.
All right, and are you Mr. Wilson?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so this is a continuation of the trial. Mr. Wilson was found guilty in the bench trial. So now we're here for the punishment phase. Does anyone have, let me see. Let me look at the indictment. Is he a repeater?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Would you like to read the repeater allegation?
We filed a notice of enhancement. Specifically, it was for assault, bodily injury, family second. It's cause number 2011 CR 9636. It was out of Barrett County. It was a 226 district court. And the judgment date was May 29th of 2013.
All right. Would you like to read the actual enhancement allegation, and then Mr. Wilson can either plead true or not true?
And Judge, there wasn't, again, it was just a notice of enhancement that was sent to defense. And here, let me see.
All right. If
Oh, here, Judge, before the commission of the offense alleged in cause number 2019-4004B, hereinafter styled the primary offense on the 29th day of May, AD 2013, in cause number 2011 TR 9636 in the 226th District Court in Barrett County, Texas. The defendant was convicted on the felony with assault family second offense.
All right, and Mr. Wilson, how do you plead to that? True?
We stand mute to it.
All right, so since they're not answering, the court is going to take that as a not true. Are there any opening statements?
But no, Your Honor, we'll just call our witness.
Defense, any opening statements?
No, Your Honor.
All right, state, call your witness.
Your Honor, the state calls Bobby Segovia to the stand.
All right, if you'll take your seat here, please. Deputy Laura. Witness, I'm sorry.
He was.
One of the be behind you to put that video on. Oh, gonna be right now. Sorry.
Okay, sorry about that, Deputy Laura. All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record. Please keep your voice up so that I can hear and the court reporter can hear.
My name is Bobby Segovia.
And if you could spell the last name.
It's Segovia.
All right, state.
Mr. Segovia, who do you work for?
I work for the Bexar County Sheriff's.
And what do you do for the Bear County Sheriff?
I'm a fingerprint examiner.
And here, if you could just wait for me to finish the question.
Oh, sorry.
It's just more for the court reporter. So, can you repeat, what do you specifically do?
We compare prints from when people come in to do the jail, and we also classify prints. We also do releases. We also do warrants, and we also verify when people come in.
And are the records of when someone's arrested and their fingerprinted, do you guys keep those records?
Yes, sir.
And are you a custodian of record for those records?
Yes, sir.
So you're trained to actually take someone's fingerprint, correct?
Yes, sir.
And how long have you been doing that?
I'm going on about 3 years.
And have you today taken someone's fingerprints?
Yes, sir.
Sure, you was marked to State's Exhibit C. What is this?
It's a fingerprint ink card.
Okay, and who did you take, or what does that fingerprint ink card show?
Show the fingerprints I took today.
And do you see the individual whose fingerprints you took today in court?
Yes, sir.
What are they wearing?
Orange.
And can you point at them? And let the record reflect he has identified the defendant. And you also brought in something today. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
What did you bring in?
Booking sheet from records.
And what's contained on this booking sheet?
They're on the identifiers. So when the defendants come in to the jail, they print out a list of, their name, birthday, their previous, if they have a SID number through the Bexar County Sheriff or the DPS through the Texas, and they have all kinds of information on there.
And is that record maintained by the Bexar County Sheriff's Office?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit D. Is this what you brought in today?
Yes, sir.
And what's on the back of this page?
Fingerprints.
Okay. And so did the fingerprints that are on the back of that page, do they match the fingerprints that you took today?
Yes, sir.
And what does that mean to you then?
They are a match.
And so the records that are contained on State's Exhibit D pertain to the person in State's Exhibit C.
Definitely.
That'll be overruled.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, State would move to admit or offer in States C and States D. And we'll tender to defense.
Gotta take the witness on by that.
Yes.
Now, sir, on state's exhibit number, I guess it's C. On state's exhibit number C, I mean, not number C, letter C. The top part of that exhibit is some writing, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the information that you got, did you fill out that information yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the information that you filled out on the top of this card, did it come from your own personal knowledge?
From the paperwork, sir.
Okay, so to answer my question, it doesn't come from your personal knowledge, it came from some type of paperwork, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so at this point, Judge, in terms of state's C, I'm going to object initially to the information that's on the top.
All right,
of
if I
this
could
card.
see State's Exhibit C.
Judge, if you want also the states as well.
All right. Oh, wait, with regards to State's Exhibit C, is he just custodian?
Yes, Your Honor, that's one of the questions I asked.
Okay. All right, and what is your objection to C?
Okay, I'm gonna.
Okay,
Oh, to see
yes,
the top part of the thing, he said he got it from somewhere, it didn't say where. You fill that out based on information he got, he said from some paperwork
all right.
that hasn't been established, what person work you got it from.
I can clarify that, Judge.
All right, if you'll lay the foundation with regards to C, and then I know you haven't started on D yet. So if we can, since it's just me and this is not a jury, if I know your objection to C. He says he has more questions to ask to lay the foundation for that. If we'll then see if you can lay the foundation for C, and then Mr. Cox, I'll give you a chance to take up D.
So the information at the top of state C, where did you get that from?
For the booking sheet.
And that would be state's exhibit D.
Yes, sir.
And state's exhibit D, is that a record that the Bexar County Sheriff's Office maintained?
Yes, sir.
And you're a custodian of those records, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you would have the ability to verify that the information that's kept on state's D is true and accurate.
Yes, sir.
And why did you write that information on state C from state's D?
Because the prints match.
So it was the same person.
Yes, sir.
Really?
All right, the objection to leading will be overruled.
So establish.
All right, so Mr. Cox, if you would like to take the witness on voir dire. All right, and then you all can have a seat. It's just
Sorry.
a bench trial.
All right, so now you said that you're the custodian of records with reference to state's exhibit D, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And where's that record kept?
It's kept in central records in the Bexar County Sheriff's Office.
Okay, I mean, in a file cabinet, on a computer system, where's it kept?
It's kept in, we have, it's in the place, so we have folders that go into where we work at. So there's like a folder column with every individual that we have.
Okay, and you would go, you get a request, you'll go there and retrieve the document, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, when this document was written up, or when it was, I guess, it's like, it looks, is it a computer generated document?
Yes, sir.
Were you present when that occurred?
No, sir.
No, okay. So in terms of what it says, whether it's correct or not, whether it's the same person or not, you don't know personally where this information comes, correct?
Personally, like if I was there,
Person, you weren't there.
I was not there.
Okay. Is it fair to say that if some of this information was were you able, are you able to determine whether some of this person, I mean, some of this information is through some type of interview that somebody gives? Do you know?
It's basically what the officer brings them in.
Okay. But you don't know where the officer gets it from, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. So you don't know whether they, the subject of this document was questioned by anybody. You don't know, do you?
No, sir.
So if this information was being gathered from somebody in custody, do you have any idea of whether or not that person was given any rights or anything like that before they answered any of these questions?
No, sir.
You don't know.
No, sir.
You can't now, I believe you testified that there were some prints, some type of fingerprints that were on the back of State's Exhibit D, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you testify as to whether the front part of this document where the computer information is was taken during the same time that the back part where these fingerprints are taken from?
You said, could I verify?
Yeah.
That's procedure.
Well, I don't know, yeah, procedure, but you weren't there when it happened.
No, sir.
Okay. In terms of the person who actually did the fingerprinting for the prints that's on the rear of State's Exhibit D, would you be able to tell us who took the prints?
No, sir.
No. And you can't tell us even if it was done at the same time or was done 2 years later. I mean, of your own personal knowledge.
Not my personal knowledge.
You don't know. Now, there's some writing. Could I approach the witness?
Yes. And which exhibit?
Oh, I'm sorry, on the State Exhibit D, where I see circles with an ink pen like on top of that document.
So you want to know what the circles is? The JN number.
Right, but no, that writing that's on the those circles, is that your writing?
No, sir.
So that States D is a computer printout, the top of it, like it was printed out.
Yes, sir.
Correct. But the writing that I'm talking about in the circles and numbers on the top, it's fair to say that that was not created at the same time, correct? The circles, the writing looked like a case number. That wasn't put on at the same time, correct?
No, sir.
So were you present when that writing was placed on there?
No, sir.
So if you're the custodian of records, and those records are kept, but you can't tell us, it's fair to say that if the writing weren't placed on there at the same time, but you don't know where the writing comes from. correct?
It usually comes from the deputy at the jail.
Oh, usually comes from the deputy, but not necessarily from the deputy, correct?
Yes, sir.
And I object to State Exhibit D. It's clear that the foundation for whatever it is, it's a lot of hearsay.
Oh, you can remain seated,
So,
counsel. That's
It's-
okay.
It's a lot of what I would say would be hearsay to now write a confrontation in terms of where that information came from, under what conditions it came from, whether or not the person who gave that information, if they're claiming that it was something that my client gave them, I don't know. Was that person Miranda? Did he know what his rights were? Did he have to give the information? We don't know. I don't think that in this case, that based on the testimony of this witness, the foundation has not been laid for the introduction of State's Exhibit D.
All right, with regards to State's Exhibit number C, the court is going to overrule your objection. And State's Exhibit number C will be admitted. With regards to State's Exhibit D, may I see D, please? All right, with regards to State's Exhibit D, the court has some concerns. And the concern is, he is the custodian of record. This appears to have been printed out with fingerprints and everything on the back. But then there appears to be some writing that has been added in blue ink. So can someone address that issue with the court? And then I can make an informed decision on whether or not D is admitted. Because with regards to custodians of record and also certified documents, there shouldn't be writing in blue ink. I see there's a highlighter under the mail portion, and there's an AB at the top. So State, if you want to ask those questions of this witness, where is all of this coming from?
So on State's D. So were you aware that the DA's office requested ahead of time that the files be prepared?
Yes, sir.
And in regards to the blue ink, you weren't there whenever the files were when this writing occurred, were you? Are you aware?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, on this one, this ain't the copy. This is the original.
So this is the original copy. How can you
Well,
tell?
no, he said it's not the copy. He said it's the original.
Yeah, it's the original.
So is it a copy?
No, this is not a copy.
Okay.
So this is the original that you just received that you pulled.
It is from the folder.
Okay. And so it could have been that this was caused previous to you pulling it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But as far as you're aware, since this is the actual original that you pulled from the actual file, as far as you're aware, this matches what's in the record
Yes, sir.
because it is the record.
Yes, sir.
All right, defense, do you have any questions?
Sure. So,
Yes.
now, officer, you testified that State's Exhibit D is the original, correct?
From the folder. Yes, sir.
You just testified to that. And you say that this information on there would be, you got that off the original file, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, there's a case number on State's D, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, how long you work for the sheriff department?
Altogether, Sheriff, department for the Bear County
Yeah.
together about 13 years.
Oh,
But for the sheriff, the actual sheriff office, 4 years.
for a moment. And it's fair to say, like I mentioned before, that the state's D was is some type of computer printout, correct?
Yes, sir.
But then there's writing on it, which seemed to be from some type of something wrote, or somebody wrote information on top of this document.
Yes, sir.
In your testimony, that you don't know when that writing occurred.
No, sir.
I renew my objections.
All right, if I could see State's Exhibit number D. All right, so with regards to State's Exhibit number C, Mr. Cox is going to object to the writing of the defendant's name, date of birth. That objection will be overruled. State's Exhibit number C will be admitted into evidence. With regards to State's Exhibit D, can I have parties approach?
Judge, there's not gonna be any further questions from the state in regards to the, I guess, admissibility of states D. Judge, we heard from the witness that this is the original from the file. He is a custodian of record. I know that there are concerns about the writing that are on the paper that goes to the weight, not admissibility. There are other pieces of information, other identifiers on states D that do correlate to the defendant. The key thing is that the fingerprints on the back do match him. This is the record for the defendant. He's the person that this is in relation to. So state would ask that it be admitted.
Your Honor, we still feel that the proper foundation has not been laid. There's questions about the documents, questions that the custodian of records can't even resolve. And I figure if the state is going to present the document, the custodian cannot resolve any issues with reference to document, then how will they expect the court to allow that to be entered into evidence in a trial? Our position that they have not laid the proper foundation. There were issues with reference to the document itself, and we feel that the document should be denied.
So, other than your board here, are you gonna have any other questions for this witness on cross?
Just if I can ask a couple more questions.
Sure.
When you look at the on the exhibit D, and you said that you can't testify as to, if you look at the back of that, you can't testify as to when that was placed on the document.
No, sir.
Okay. You see the red ink. There's some lines that were drawn. Can you testify to when those were placed?
When the lines were actually made?
You know, red line.
No, sir.
Okay. All right. I have no other questions, Judge, and I renew my objections.
All right. So my understanding is, and this witness will be excused. And I'll make my decision on whether or not this is admissible. There are not going to be any more questions. The only reason why I say that is because he's meeting the other court.
Okay. Yeah, and just that in my, I won't need him for anything else.
All right. So you can be excused.
Okay, thank you.
And then the court will give me a few minutes.
Yes, Your Honor.
We're gonna take a short break. Could I see the parties on Samantha? Or not? Who's your client, Ms. Rivera? It's the bill. I know you all have been waiting, and I want to take you all up so you can go to the court if you need to.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Hey.
Good morning. Are you ready on this? Yes, Your Honor. Are you considering the motion to revoke?
Yes, Judge.
All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 4178, State of Texas versus Michelle Zavala Hernandez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Floyd Rivera for Ms. Hernandez.
And are you Michelle Zavala Hernandez? I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. To review that with your attorney, please your understanding. Are you the same Michelle Zavala Hernandez who was placed under court adjudication in 2020 CR 4178 for the offense of harassment of a public servant on September 9, 2020 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 14, on or about the 20th day of July 2023 in Dare County, Texas. The defendant, Michelle Zavala Hernandez, did then and there fail to complete 100 hours of community service restitution in violation of condition number 14.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
And Your Honor, we waived, I'm sorry.
Leave this one on.
All right. All right. State,
Yes, Your Honor, we waived the other violations alleged in the motion.
all right, any objections to the state's waivers?
No objection.
All right. Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 14, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition 14?
I do.
Court will find violation of condition number 14 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, we're asking that you deny the motion and terminate the defendant unsatisfactory.
All right.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. Did she provide a UA today?
Yes, Your Honor, it was negative.
Vashon, you know me so well.
I'm trying, Judge.
I like when you step outside of the lane and know me so well. All right. What have you learned by being on probation?
A lot of consequences for, something that you think is nothing, and then everything has consequences. And being on this for 3 years, I'm a procrastinator. I left everything for the end, and I wish I could have done things different. That's what I've learned. If something needs to get done, is to get it done.
Oh, yeah. Do not procrastinate. That's not good. I say that as an attorney, we all tend to procrastinate, but no. And it feels so much better when you do it and you get it out of the way, because then you're like, okay, why was I waiting so long to do this? All right. The court then will terminate. And is this satisfactorily or unsatisfactorily?
Well, Judge, we're thinking unsatisfactorily. She's done pretty much everything except for the community service, Judge.
And Judge, she's currently employed, Judge. She's been working at Wells Fargo for 2 years, Judge. She has discharged every other requirement that the court has asked for her. And I would like for the court to take that into account, whether you want to discharge her either satisfactorily or unsatisfactory.
All right. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Michelle Hernandez Vala.
All right. And why didn't you complete the 100 hours community service?
Your Honor, if I may, I do want to point out that there was documentation provided to probation that indicated that the San Antonio Food Bank denied her request for volunteering there. It is recognized that she could have gone to other locations or, spoke to her officer about potentially completing that somewhere else. However, she is enrolled in school currently. She has provided documentation that she's enrolled in school currently, and we ask possibly that the court would take that into consideration.
All right. So what are you studying at school?
Business management.
Okay.
Hey, Judge, just wanted to, she did make you did go to other
I did
locations.
try. Ms. Dixon provided me with a list of different places that I could go to. A lot of those places were no longer doing court-appointed community service. And then the last one that I did speak to asked me to get the document with my picture instead of it saying San Antonio Food Bank and their address to have their information. But once I reached out to Ms. Dixon for that, is when I found out everything was being revoked. So kind of let's help.
All right. So I will terminate her satisfactorily. All right. Do not come back here anymore unless you're back here to visit. To say, I'm doing great. If you obtain your degree and you want me to come to your college graduation, I will show up. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You.
All right. Thank you, you too. All right. So I believe the last thing we have on the docket is Mr. Wilson
And Blinko.
and Blinko. Blinko? Who is the prosecutor on Blinko?
Mr. Garahan at that point, but I think the conviction integrity unit was involved in terms of trying to.
All right,
reprocess
so
this one.
if we can get the integrity unit down here, because my understanding from them was since the motion for new trial was granted, that they were going to dismiss.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really playing a big part in it.
Right, I think
Yes.
Mr. Howard was involved.
All right, so let's see if they can come down here. We're taking care of this today. One or two things gonna happen. Either he's
Judge,
going,
as an officer of the court, I come upon some news in the last week or so that Mr. Blinko, with the assistance of this process, gained his identification. As a result, he applied for some benefits that he was due and owing, and he received them. It was a very substantial number, something in the order of 7,000. This is very hard for me to say because you and I.
so now he's in Costa Rica or
No,
something?
he's still in the neighborhood, but not residing where he needs to be residing. He may have veered off the track.
Okay,
And so
I understand what you're saying.
how about if I just leave it? So I reconfirmed this morning, they confirmed, they know where he's at. It's under the bridge as opposed to the place that he's paying rent for.
Mhm.
The amount of money he was not able to, it was just a very substantial amount of money. He actually took some, gave the card to somebody, one of the people that came and visited. And when he came back after, according to the quick story is, then she said, here's your card. I can't hold this.
Oh, I understand how things go left, but so we're gonna get Mr. Howard down here.
Okay.
And one or two things gonna happen today. Either the state is gonna go forward with their dismissal, or either warrant is going to be issued.
Okay.
All right, so they're calling Mr. Howard, and if everyone will give me 5 minutes and we're gonna finish up with Mr. Wilson, I just need to take a brief recess. We're back on the record in 2019 CR 4004B. All right, with regards to State's Exhibit number D, the objection will be sustained. All right. Is there any other witnesses from either party?
Judge, the state would again offer states A and B with prior judgments.
All right. And court, I know your I'm sorry, Mr. Cox, I know your objection previously to A and B. And I believe at the trial, the court allowed A and B to be admitted. Is that correct?
No, Judge, what, we didn't admit it at trial, but what happened during the course of the trial, the defendant was asked on cross if he'd been ever convicted of a felon in possession of firearm. He answered yes. He also asked if he was convicted of an assault family second, and he answered yes. Now, both these judgments are for felon in possession of a firearm and for assault family second. He also admitted his identity, San Juan Wilson, which is the names on the judgments. It's both the same individuals in each judgment, as same Texas SID on each judgment. It is in regards to the same person.
All right, if I could see State's Exhibits A and B. And if I could see State's Exhibit C.
That would be.
Thank you. All right. Defense?
Oh, can I respond now?
Yes.
Notwithstanding the fact that my client may have testified in this case, the issue is whether, based on the foundation, whether the state can present or offer and have admitted in the evidence. Takes exhibit B, takes exhibit A, and I think the court kind of ruled on C, although my objection was to the top part of it.
Yes, C was admitted over defense's objection.
Based on the fact that the witness said that where he got this information from was on something that, some paperwork that we don't know about.
All right, Mr.
But I'll
Cox,
go back there.
the court has already ruled on C.
All right, sorry. So if the state wants to move in the evidence A and B, then normally what happens is that they present the items and they prove them up.
All right, what is your objection, Mr.
So my
Cox?
objection is that they haven't laid any foundation for A. Only thing they said that, oh, my client said he found guilty of, with no specifics.
All right,
It wasn't a case number or on this day, no, it was like, oh, yeah, I've been convicted. Oh, you don't know when it happened, where it happened. Oh, whether it was in Hawaii. You know, so my position that they did not establish a foundation, a proper predicating foundation for the admissions of A and B.
All
They
right.
just haven't done it.
all right. With regards to state's exhibits A and B, that objection will be sustained. Are there any more witnesses?
No, you're not.
All right, any witnesses, Mr. Cox?
No, you're.
All right, the court will hear brief argument. State, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, the state requesting 40 years to be seen. Whether or not states A and B were admitted, he still went on the stand and admitted that he was convicted of felony possession of a firearm and assault family second. In addition, the facts of the case are quite heinous. He and two other men came into Brianna's house with guns. They threatened her, knowing that she had children in the home. They proceeded to take money from her and used the threat to stop her from stopping them. Court's already found him guilty of that. He put two young children's lives at risk. He put family members' lives at risk. And he had no care in the world in that regard. Again, Your Honor, state's asking for 40 years to be sent.
All right, defense.
And the court has heard the testimony in this case. In my recollection is that the complainant, based on my recollection, never said that my client threatened. In addition to that, Judge, there was we still feel that the testimony even suggested that there was something else. They know each other. There was some issue, although the complainant says, like, oh, I don't know anything about anybody acting for any weed or anything like that. And Anthony comes and we testify, oh, he can't remember anything, whether he was there or not. We just feel, Judge, that there were issues in the case. Though the court found him guilty. Witness one time saying she only had one purse, and then there was two purses on the thing with my client. Never going to the house before, but all of a sudden he knows exactly where to go. So, one thing I'm saying, Judge, is that we know that the court heard the testimony in this case. We're just asking for the court to make a decision which is consistent with the evidence. We hope that the court will start at the bottom of the range and make a decision that's fair and just.
And Mr. Wilson, I'm gonna have you sign the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were waiting.
No problem. Oh, you can give it to me. Thank you. All right, Mr. Wilson. I want you to know that I listened to all the evidence. I remember the evidence that was presented during the first phase of your trial. I understand that there were objections to the PSI report, certain parts of it, which had to do with whether or not you had any prior convictions. And based upon my rulings, I did not consider that in the PSI report. But I did read the PSI report because no one had any objections other than the criminal history that was listed in there. So I do understand that in the PSI report, you're saying that all of this started because cousin's boyfriend or somebody's boyfriend may have went to your mother's home with a gun. And this is how all of this came about. I have to go on the evidence that was presented to me during the trial. And it is a very dangerous thing when people are pulling guns because anything can happen. You understand? All right. So this is what the court is going to do. The court is finding the enhancement not true. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. There's to be credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with Brianna Lynn Younger. And I would say, or her family members, but I believe your mother and her mother are related sisters. So there's to be no contact with Brianna Lynn Younger or her children. I'm going to set your punishment at 20 years in the prison. Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? All right, you do have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is your trial. You understand? Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right. You need to make better decisions. And we can go off the record. And I do believe that's our last case. Yes. We do have a victim impact statement. Mr. Cox?
Ma'am.
There is a victim impact statement that will be read.